So, I don't really know how to go about starting this off, but I want to talk a minute on addiction. Yeah, on addiction. And a lot of y'all that might be watching this, if you're struggling with addiction, trust me, there are tons of people out there that are more than willing to help you, get you through whatever struggle you're facing, and it can be something as simple as you're addicted to video games, you're addicted to soda, you're addicted to a certain sandwich. It's any addiction. I'm not just talking about drugs or drinking or, you know, anything like that. I battled addiction for about 10 years uh, and still battle it to this day, even though, I'm recovered, should I say. I've never been to an AA meeting or Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous or anything like that. And I also apologize if I'm kind of bouncing back and forth, as I'm not really good with I'm not really good with talking about my own personal issues, but I feel like maybe me talking about my struggles and how I was able to cope with it and deal with it and get over it, might be able to help somebody else. And a lot of my addiction, a lot of my addiction growth, should I say, getting over my addiction, has been helped by fueling my passion, which is motorcycles. Working on motorcycles, riding motorcycles, and channeling that energy that I was using or abusing, should I say, into a hobby, a passion, a mechanical knowledge and stuff like that, has helped tenfold than any counselor ever has. And if you're struggling with addiction, whether it be alcohol or drugs, you are stronger than that addiction's hold on you. And if you say, well, I was born with this addiction, that might be true. My mother was a heroin addict when I was born. She was still using when I was born. I was a methadone child. And I have certain ailments that plague me to this day. And I have a really, really, really bad tic every so often whenever I start getting too overwhelmed. I start, kind of twitching like that and stuff. And I've learned to control that. I don't take any medicines. I don't believe in pharmaceuticals because, hell, I went to an addiction counselor about 5 years ago. They wanted to prescribe me amphetamine sulfate. My drug of choice that I was addicted to, that I was hooked on, was meth. However you call it, crystal meth, ice, whatever it may be. And that's my main reason for not using prescription drugs, is because prescription drugs are basically a street drug that a doctor has done his little magic to and is now okay for you to use legally. And another thing I don't like about, any type of prescription drug is it'll get you a nice half set of fake teeth. And also, bad drugs will do that to you as well, because, that's what meth got me, was, a mouthful of really bad teeth. And again, I apologize for ranting and raving, going off of this, going on to this, going on to this. It's such a huge subject to cover, and I'm just trying to give my perspective over the whole thing overall. So, long and the short is, if you have an addiction, try channeling that addiction. And if you want to get away from that addiction, especially try channeling that addiction into a hobby, into something you enjoy doing, whether it be, working on cars, painting, playing video games, riding motorcycles, talking to a friend, talking to a coworker, or just, social media. I don't have social media. I don't have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I have a Twitter. Uh, I have a Twitter only because I like to pay attention to Call of Duty, because that's my video game of choice. I do play Call of Duty pretty much every day as a stress reliever, because I have a stressful job. Um, but find something to channel that into. Talk to your family, talk to your mom, talk to your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, uncle, somebody is there to listen. I know I was in the same boat. I didn't feel like I had anybody I can talk to, and I started talking to my dad. My dad was somebody that I idolized. He was the man. And I was so worried of how they were going to take it whenever I came about saying, "Hey, I have a drug addiction." I thought they were going to shun me. They were going to push me out. They were going to disown me, or whatever you want to call it. No, my dad talked to me for hours. I want to say when I first talked to them, man, I think we sat on the back porch for probably 3 hours just talking. And he told me he had an alcohol addiction. And my mom supported him through his, going to meetings and stuff like that. And then I talked to my mom about it, because my dad didn't tell my mom. He wanted to keep that between us, and I told my mom. My mom was accepting, inviting, open about it. She didn't like it. She was upset, but she accepted it. And, she knew that I had the ability to change, and they did everything in their power to do it. And I'm not a religious person. I'm not super religious. I was raised very Christian. My mom prayed. She had my aunts in on the thing, and they prayed for me. And I want to say that some of my getting better is because of that. I do know there's a higher power. I'm not a super religious person. I'm just not. Do I believe in God? Oh yes, 100%. I believe that there is a higher power at work, and He has a plan for each and every one of us. He put me through my struggle to see how I would manage, to see if I was strong enough to come back from it, and thankfully I was. I wasn't the percentage that ended up overdosing. And I say that to say this: I never overdosed on any drugs I tried, any drugs I took. When it came to alcohol, alcohol was my vice. I spent so much time in and out of bars that I don't remember most of my two oldest children's early life. I missed birthdays. I missed, special events with school and all this other stuff, because I was too busy drowning my sorrows in bottles of whiskey and Jello shots and what have you, and anything else I could drown my sorrows in. I haven't drank since 2007. Whenever, I don't remember the night. I remember coming to. I remember that much, and that's all I really remember about it, because it's so disheartening that it made me want to literally, end my own life, because that's how bad I felt for what had happened. Went to a local bar, a couple of buddies, a couple of roommates, and drinking, doing the normal thing. I'm gonna get pass out drunk like normal. When I got passed out drunk, I ended up in the hospital getting my stomach pumped because I drank too much. Alcohol poisoning. From what my roommate John told me was I was flatlined for 15 minutes on the ride from the bar to the hospital. They got my heart back going once, flatlined again, stuck me with adrenaline, hit me with the paddles, and I came to. Luckily, I came to again and I stayed that way. When I was cognitive enough to open my eyes and realize, what was going on, when I came to, my at the time girlfriend, who was the mother of my oldest daughter, was there. My mother, my father, my grandmother. And I hate to say this, but seeing my grandmother there crying, sitting in a chair, thinking her, what she says, her favoriteest grandson, was dead because of his own poor life choices, is what made me change my ways and start getting on the road to recovery. I haven't touched a drop of alcohol since I quit cold turkey. It was the most painful and it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, to quit cold turkey. And I am so thankful for doing it that way, because it has made me such a stronger person. And not everybody can do it that way, but everybody has it in themselves to be able to. But back to the matter at hand. Addiction sweeps the nation day in, day out. Look at the news. You see these people in like Chicago, Philadelphia, or whatever big cities there are. They're walking around like zombies because there's, drugs like that one that was here, years ago called Crocodile, and zombie drugs and bath salts and all this other stuff. Most of those people end up that way because of peer pressure. They want to fit in with their friends. They want to fit in with the it crowd, and that could be totally wrong because I don't watch the news a whole lot. But what I do see of it is America is falling apart. And I'm sorry for the sucking thing, but the fake teeth thing kind of have to. If any of y'all watching this, if this hits home for y'all, man, leave me a message, leave me a comment. I will gladly, talk to you in the comment section, try and help you through anything you're going through. Like, I don't want anyone out there to fight addiction. If you don't feel like you have anybody you can talk to, I am down to listen, 100%. Everybody has somebody that will listen, and if you don't have anybody, I'll be that somebody as best as I can. I can't always answer every question because I have a very busy day life as far as work goes. I work from 4 o'clock in the morning to usually 7, 8 o'clock at night. Most days 16 hours a day, so I usually don't even have time to kiss my kids goodnight. But if you need somebody to talk to, leave a comment. And if you're afraid of leaving a comment of what other people are going to think, you know what? Don't worry about what other people think. As far as I'm concerned, it's just me and you in the comment section. If anybody else wants to put their 2 cents in and help, hey, more power to you. That's what everybody on this earth is put here for. We are supposed to help our fellow man, and that's exactly what I want done. But I made this video mostly because I wanted to share some life experiences that I've been through, in hopes that maybe somebody else is going through it and knows that there's somebody out there that can, talk to them, help them through a bad time, or just, give them some life advice. I'm not trying to, win people over with my poor sad sob story, because that's not what it's about at all. Most people that make videos do it to simply get views, to simply get, clicks or whatever. I'm putting this video out there solely so people that feel like they don't have anybody to talk to, or feel like there's nobody out there that's been through their struggle, there are people out here that will help you every step of the way if possible. So that's all I've got for this video. If y'all like the content, I will gladly put out more of this. If y'all enjoy motorcycle mechanic videos, I will gladly do that. As I'm always working on something. This is my personal motorcycle. It's been good to me for 62,000 miles. So, but if y'all have any comments to make, put them in the comment section. I will try to respond to as many as I can. Thank you.